Hello and welcome back to another riveting episode of
This
Infamous.
is
My name
Parker,
is
go by
Brandon,
one who
or
barks on
Needless
Discord.
This is Josh. I go by Grimmelzog on Discord.
Josh, did you also hear
I
that
heard
Parker goes by one
he's
who
barking
barks
madman.
on Discord?
You heard barks?
I heard barks for sure. Yeah, so I'm gonna fix that just real quick. Don't worry about it.
Dog, I get it.
Don't even.
I'm picking
worry
up what you're
about
putting
it,
down.
Okay. So we have some minor news. The most important of which is that if you're hearing my voice, you missed Adepticon registration and you're a failure. Unless you didn't, and then good job.
It was
we only gave you
narrow
like 12
and
points.
tight. I believe my roommate CJ actually did not get in to the big MCP tournament right away. We had
He was
so the thing is
129th
I was
in
sitting
line?
there
God damn.
spamming F5 or whatever, like refreshes, and you could jump into the queue 15 minutes before, right? Sitting there, I was maybe seconds after 45. 1044th in
Just crushing it, yeah. Yeah, that's... you were actually only 6 spots ahead of me. That's pretty funny. Yeah. No, it was amazing how everyone I know landed right around 1,000.
Yeah,
because
Zach was like
960th
or something like that.
Well,
yeah. Like, I've talked to like 8 people, and everyone I know was from now. Like, that's the lowest number I've heard. Like 860, you said. It's like everyone was between there and 1150. I haven't heard any outside of that. But
number one,
so,
what does one mean?
15,000.
So what happened is I woke up late Sunday morning, and as soon as I woke up, I realized something. Like, I realized something with my job. Just like, I accidentally double booked myself for major events. This is going to happen in 48 hours. Like, oh shit, I've got to contact people. Even though it's Sunday, I got to make sure this is sitting in inboxes. I got to do it right now before my kids need a million things. I'm going to do it. So I ran downstairs to my computer.
Are you saying
no,
that you
it wasn't
to
that.
Take
it was
Adepticon
something going
off?
on this week. It was, and so I told myself I got to go do that. So while I'm writing emails and scrambling and looking for stuff, I look down at the clock and I was like, "Oh shit!" And it says like 11:54, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And so I get on to the thing. I didn't even know it opened up 15 minutes ahead of time. I did not know that, and so I hit the inline button and it put me like 4,400. So
okay. That's surprising that there was that many people
with 4,400. I will tell you that I got on with enough time to just exactly see the one MCP event I wanted disappear because it literally said the affiliation battle.
I'm
because
sorry, Parker, I knocked you out.
No, you didn't. Because there was 11 people. It said 11 people left. I hesitated for half a second. I literally hesitated for half a second to look at the other things, just to be like, okay, what else is on this list? Oh, yeah. And I went back to click it, and when I click it, it said, no, it's full. So I missed it by that much. However, there's stuff for me to do on Thursday. It's not like the end of the world.
Okay, so what all did you manage to sign up for?
Yeah, I didn't get the MCP affiliation because I just wanted to do one MCP event. And I was really surprised by that because last year there was oodles of space. Like, there were still, like, I think like a week before the deadline, there were still people doing Heat 1 and Heat 2, but they changed that, and maybe they just lost a lot of tables. So don't have anything with MCP right now. I'm on the wait list for that. But
I think it's the same size because it was 2 64-man heats last year, and it's
I guess
128 this time.
Uptick in MCP signups.
I don't know.
So.
Yeah, I felt like there were so many extra.
See, my theory was it was going to be because they have a larger venue. There is now ability to have more people, and so having more people means that the volume of all ticket sales will go up. And so I thought that there might be an increase, but that's just because there's now like 8,000 people going instead of 5,000.
Well, so you asked the question. I'm on a wait list for the affiliation battle. We'll see how that turns out. My guess is probably no, unless I get there and they people just don't show. Maybe I'll be able to do that. But
there's also like a 1-month refund time period, so people will probably drop out of some events over the next month. as they finalize what their schedule is going to look like. Because your best bet is sign up for everything and then just cancel what
which
you're not
is
gonna
what
go
I
to,
should
'cause you don't
have
wanna
done,
get locked out of stuff.
but I didn't. So it's in lieu of that, I signed up for the Judgment Tribes tournament on Thursday. Tentatively, very likely to do Judgment team tournament with the Muse guys on Friday. They haven't finalized their plans, but they gave me a big thumbs up so far. And the only thing I know for absolute sure I'm going to do is Saturday and Sunday, which is Super Bowl Part 1 and Part 2, which is Blood Bowl. Their Super Bowl event, which I'm excited to do because I have played. What's that?
Have you picked your team?
It is
You picked your team yet?
98% chance to be dwarves because I suspect it'll be a 2% chance that I get anything else painted. That's really all it is. Also, I think I will enjoy the dwarf team that I made. I think I will have fun. It's not just dwarves or what I have painted. I am also excited about the dwarf team. I think I will enjoy it. It would be that or lizards, and lizards I would just have to get them painted, which is unlikely to happen, but we'll see. I thought I was too.
See, I thought you were going to do
but I also don't have
Bretonnians.
them painted, and I don't. Like I said, that would be. I guess there's a 1% chance to do lizards and a 1% chance to do Bretonnians. I would love to do Bretonnian.
Okay. Because I saw that when I was putting the GW order this week, I noticed that there was an erroneous Bretonnian's Blood Bowl team on order for someone.
If you
so
did,
I just deleted that immediately.
I wouldn't be upset. But if you also didn't, then I am excited to have them because I do want to play Bretonnians. And I think I would have fun playing them too. I would have a lot of fun playing them, but I would have to wave a magic wand to get them painted because I have no interest in painting them. But so yeah, it'll be dwarfs right now. Okay. I'm excited.
I got signed up.
Josh,
for
what did you get signed
MCP
up for?
affiliation battle, and then I signed all skill.
All skill.
And then I got signed up for the first Trench Crusade tournament, which I'm pretty hyped for. I got a little bit of painting to do to prep for that. And then that is all I signed up for.
Cool. I appreciate how AMG has managed to sneak in yet another level of RNG into their game. Because not only do you have to deal with the combat rolls of the game, you have to deal with like pay-to-flip rolls. You have to deal with multiple priority rolls. You have to deal with signing up for the event. It's really great. It's just lots of funnels of RNG.
Because CJ was at work, but he was sitting there ready to go. Maybe not at 11:45, but at noon. And the MCP main tournament was already filled up. I was like, that's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, I would never have guessed that, because even the Super Bowl, which is one of the usually earliest selling out games at Adepticon, because A, Blood Bowl is like a cult favorite, B, there's been a strong presence of Blood Bowl at Adepticon for a long time, C, because they just don't get a lot of space to play. It's a fairly small room they usually end up getting. And then finally, like, it's just like, they can't devote a whole lot of space to it because they have to be able to finish, and it's kind of a longer game for a small scale like skirmish game. And so it's hard to get enough rounds in a day, and it ends on Sunday, and they can only play 3 rounds, so they have to kind of cap the size. So because of that, it tends to sell out really quickly, but I even checked back on Monday, and there was still a spot in both heats. And so it really surprises me that AMG sold out.
Yeah, it is the opposite of what I predicted. I sprinted to the Blood Bowl page first. And that may have been the thing that cost me, because I was like, I was told by Aaron, he's like, make sure you get him ASAP. And I was like, okay. And Aaron, if you're listening to this, that's what ruined my weekend. Was that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you being 14 minutes.
Well, I didn't know that was late.
That's really what did it.
I thought there was I didn't know
6 minutes early is not acceptable.
I had no idea because I'd never been there. I have never once signed up for Adepticon on the day of sign up. I've been down. This is the third one, and I've always had plenty of spaces to get everything I wanted for all 4 days. Because, like I said, I swear, every AMG event I've ever been to at Adepticon, there was 20 plus spaces, on multiple days for me to sign up for. I do not know why.
Yeah.
And like you said, the math checks out. Like, the numbers check out. It's just the interest was so intense this year, which makes me wonder. I don't know about this new venue. I don't know if they can open up more space. I know AMG's like got their own like quarter of that big room, but I wonder if they're going to try to find more space if there is that much interest. I wonder if
there's
they'll
a
find
lot
a
of
way to get
space.
more space for some stuff. I wonder.
They will open up more space for it later on once they get ideas of interest on each event, and then
Yeah.
I would be amazed if everyone shows up for affiliation battle. Amazed. There's something called like the hungover rule. Like once you get to a convention, getting up at 8 a.m. to play in a funsies
Yeah.
event sounds great until you're up till 3 a.m. Like it just doesn't. It's not the same. And so you're like, I'm making it to the champion tournament I signed up for, but Friday morning when I just got drunk with all my friends, like maybe we don't go to affiliation battle instead.
I
Like,
am so
you'll get a
excited
lot
for
of that.
affiliation battle because I really enjoy MCP when I'm playing people that want to, who just like say, quote, like Josh, I just love Asgard. Let's go to Valhalla. This will be fun. I really enjoy that. So I'm hoping affiliation battle is like that. A lot of
Yeah.
fanboys of their favorite affiliations. That sounds like fun to me. Like a lot of fun. So we'll see.
I hope you
I'm
play
sure
Webs 4
somebody's going
rounds
to
in
be
a
in
row.
there and going to pick the affiliation they think will win. That happens at every tournament. But I will say, if it's anything like Timelines, the first year they did Timelines, was that 2 years ago, right? Or was that 2 years ago? The first time they did Timelines at Adepticon, that group was awesome. Like that was an awesome group of people who were none of them was everybody was competitively minded. Like people were traveling to Adepticon to play, but it was an awesome, just passionate about the game kind of group. So I hope that's what it is. I will never appreciate the big show anymore, but
yeah, I think Timelines has kind of settled into that. I think if you're just going super try hard, you just go to the Champions event, and if you're, you like being competitive, but you don't like only playing the meta stuff, I think Timelines is more for you. Which is, I don't think at all what they were advertising when they.
There's also something about the
format,
schedule. Something I thought about
kind of
is if I play any tournament on Thursday or Friday, there's a really good chance that the most competitive people will be there because they've already qualified. They don't need to do any other tournament. So Timelines always being on like Saturday/Sunday means you'll usually have the people who are just playing casually all weekend because they're not exhausted or occupied with the final tables and final cuts.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but fuck, I literally went back to consider that, and Timelines was taken. That's why I scrolled down. Like when I didn't get affiliation battles, I went down to be like, okay, let's see if what Timelines is looking like, and it was already gone. And I was like, oh well, shit. Like there was nothing available, and I was looking at it at 12, 12:04. So, no, it was more like 12:11 when I got in. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, as usual, the universe tried to conspire against me. I woke up early. I got up on like 3 hours of sleep to sign up for fucking Adepticon, right? Because that's what you do. And so I get up at 11:30, and I'm laying in bed like, God, I just want to die. I don't want to get up. I feel like it's okay if I don't play anything at Adepticon, right? So I get out of bed, and I go to my computer, I sit down, and I'm like, all right, I got 6-7 minutes before, registration opens. And Parker, you might know the answer to this small trivia question. What is the one sound that evokes urgency in a human being more than anything else? Like you could be dead asleep, you hear this sound, you're 100% awake and standing before you even know what's going on. You should know this.
You're going to tell me something. I'm going to go, of course, but I'm running through sounds. A fire alarm? Like a fire alarm? Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I don't.
No. You sleep.
Oh, yes.
No. A dog vomiting.
Dog vomiting. You are correct.
Instant awake on your feet. You don't even know what's going on.
Yep. Well done. Good choice.
Instantaneous. It's like, nothing spikes adrenaline through your blood like the retching of a dog. Yep. So I teleported to my feet. I'm like, what's going on? Ran in and had to help my dog. Took him outside. Went back inside, tried to clean up the vomit because you want to leave it there for half an hour. It's like, all right, fine, got that done. And then I go to sit down, and then my roommate's asking me questions, and she was like, I have to sign up for Adepticon, leave me alone. But yeah, so I was 3 minutes late getting in the queue, so I was at 10:50 or something. I signed up for extra stuff just in case because I signed up for the Thursday Old World 1K tournament, which I do not expect I will play in. It's just like I'm gonna be there with 1K of painted Old World stuff anyway, and so it felt wrong not to sign up for it. But I'm probably not gonna sign up for it. I'll probably refund my ticket. Then I have Friday, doing the Old World doubles with Jim. Many things have changed about this tournament, which I found very annoying. It dropped from $12.50 a person to $1,000 a person, which doesn't sound like a big change, but it actually is a pretty big change. There's just not a lot of flexibility you can do when you spend your 500 points on core or 250 points on core choices, and you put a character in to be your general. That's usually 400 points. You only have 600 points of flexibility instead of 800 or 1,000. There's just not that much left over. And so, I don't know, it's just less exciting than it was, but it's just different. Still excited to play in it, though. So we've been theory crafting lists. We basically had our list built, and then they changed the point totals. Now we have to start all over. But then also on Saturday and Sunday, I signed up for the Stupor Bowl. Unlike Parker, I have a plan. Lose all of my games on purpose, and then claim
that's a prize. So my plan was I needed
have you looked at the packet
I wanted a moment to just sit down and look at the packet, and I haven't had one yet to just read it the whole way through. But so no.
Okay. So Cliff Notes is basically the same as
I do know
year,
the basics of skills
about,
plus
probably.
extra money and stuff like that. But...
It is sure. So normally they do a tier system at most tournaments. They haven't done a tier system at Adepticon for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So all teams are equal. Everyone gets the same bonuses. You get 7 skills, or whatever you want to call them, 7 rewards or whatever, 7 advancements. So doing a primary skill costs you 1. Doing a secondary skill on a player costs you 2. Taking a star player costs you 1. And then taking a star player on the restricted list costs you 2. And there's only 6 star players on the restricted list. He has also come up with, he always does his own custom star players, which are basically all Bears players because it's in Chicago. And so you can take one of them. They're called the Scares.
The Bears.
Because it's it's a joke on the Bears, but it's the Scares, and it's Halloween people. But it's a bunch of Chicago Bears named people that's been converted to horror movie villains. And then this year, though, he's added a second roster of star players that have animosity with each other, and they're the Spleen Bay Screamers, or I can't remember what it is. So it's the Packers, and so it's a bunch of Packers players, and they hate each other. So if you play against another person, they have bonuses against each other because they're rivals. So that's pretty cute. But you can roster one of the star players as one of your 11. So you only need to bring 10 people for your roster. It's 1,100 or 1.1 million, so 1,100 team value. And then you get 7 skills. It costs you 1 to take one of the star players. You cannot duplicate a skill given to a player more than 4 times. And so you can only give out 4 blocks, for example, of your 7. You cannot give 2 advancements to one player. But I think that's it.
It's interesting.
And so normally for Lizard Men and any of the 6 medium guys like the Black Orcs as well, you kind of want to give all of your guys the same skill for the most part. You want to give them all block is a common one. And so it's less good for those types of teams. I think it's better for teams where there's 4 specific guys. And so I've been looking at taking Nurgle because Nurgle, you got your 4, Chaos Warrior type guys, right? You give them all block, which is pretty obvious. Then you spend 1 skill to pick up a star player, and so you got 2 skills left.
Yeah.
And so you can basically give both of your Pestigores a skill. And so that's kind of what I've been looking at. And so the team build I had is you basically get 2 rerolls and full positionals. And it looks pretty good. Now I just need to
my dwarf team right now I like a lot. It doesn't have a star player, but it does have a tank with 2 bribes. So you can basically brother. So it's 10 guys. You lose the 2 blitzers to get a tank and 2 bribes, but I think it's gonna be cool. I'd like to. I haven't looked. I didn't even think there was a 7th skill, so I will be able to upgrade at least one of them to something a little bit stronger, maybe somewhere. So I'll take a look at that, but that could be fun as hell. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think that it sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm going to do the star player or just the tank, but I think I'm going to do the tank because I'm playing dwarves. Half the point of playing dwarves to me is the fucking tank.
Yeah, there's the really boring way that everyone plays dwarves, where it's just like the most consistent team, and it's just, God, it's just like terrorize that boring. You're like, I just make a cage, and I might score a point during the game, and that's it. I'm just gonna slowly grind, and you're like, ugh. And then there's the funny way, which is like you take
I'm
the
taking
slayers
2 slayers, death
the,
rollers, 2 runners, and
roller.
linemen. Also, they kind of changed the theme of the dwarves. Are about like cheaty dwarves now. They're kind of they're kind of like goblins in that way that they get cheap bribes, and their linemen changed that their preferred skill is actually the cheat skill or the cheat group or whatever it is. And so I'm excited to do just like cheaty junk, fouling and stuff like that. They play. It's not that I guess they play dirty because they have grudges, right? They're just going to be brutal about it. We'll see. I'm excited to try. I have not played Blood Bowl since like the very, very start of season 2, I think. So I'm going to be learning a lot as I go.
Apparently, the Snotling pump wagons lost
nice.
secret weapon, so they don't eat up bribes anymore. And they still have like dirty players. Yeah. So
I am excited to play Blood Bowl, partly because all my friends like you guys will be there. I think that'll be a lot of fun to be in the room and play Blood Bowl. Also because the Judgment Tournament is made me so sad. I was just like, I am so glad I figured out something to do on these 2 days that's not this Judgment Tournament. I was sad about what they chose to do that.
Yeah.
Long story short, Josh, if you didn't hear, they decided to make the Judgment Tournament a tournament that will likely have like somewhere between 20 to 24 players. They decided to make it a 2-day event. Yeah, that's if everybody shows up.
I think that's on the high end.
And so they decided to make it like a 2-day event. So it's going to be like 3 rounds the first day, or maybe 2 rounds the first day, or some like terrifyingly small number. And then the next day will be 2 rounds. I think, right? No, it'll be like maybe 1 round. I don't know. It could be that fast. So when I saw that, I was like, my whole Saturday and Sunday will be these 4 rounds of a Judgment Tournament. Yeah.
My guess was 16 to 20 players, conservatively, and that's very likely 4 rounds. And so if you do 2 rounds Friday or 2 rounds Saturday, 2 rounds Sunday, I've said this in person a lot, and I didn't want to harp on this. I don't want to come off as the guy who just rants negatively about things, but I just feel so strongly. So first off, they went to the maximum 6 turns things, which I'm sure we've talked about on this cast. I know it's been talked about on the Judgment cast. I'm a super anti 6-round game, for reasons I've said before. The biggest frustration for me is that if the goal hypothetically was to make it to where new players basically get stuck in a demo game that lasts 4 hours, I think is something I've heard like random community members say, is like we're trying to get more people into the game and that's a bad experience. What you're not going to have happen is demos from people who don't know any better are like going to go open their core box and then Google tournament packets and then alternate game modes of said tournament packet. We're like, let's do this as our demo. No one's going to do that. And so the only time anyone's going to experience that as like one of their earlier games is if somebody experiences sitting down helping them. And if that's happening, none of that other shit matters. Like, you already have a guy who's trying to give them the best experience they can have. It doesn't matter what the tournament packet says. And so it just seems like a completely wasted mechanic. And so it can only be targeted at, intelligently, it can only be targeted at experienced players. And every experienced player I've heard talk about doesn't like it. And so it just seems like an interesting choice to insert that rules change into a game that's already struggling to grow. Is just making everyone in your community
I'm not going to
That seems
I think that if you told me the game had changed and this is the game, I go, okay, I'll play that game. I'm almost always the guy who says, yes, I'll play the game anyway. The reason why that it is a strike against it right now, I'm not having as much fun, no doubt. The game is not the game I used to play, and that is a deficit, not just a sidestep. However, it's not enough a deficit for me to not play at Adepticon. I already enrolled for 2 tournaments that will be using this 6-turn thing. The yeah. Go ahead.
I'm not. That wasn't my only point. I had more to say, but the other thing is when you're going to, especially a prestigious convention like Adepticon. Adepticon's like one of the minimum top 3 wargaming conventions in the world, and I would argue number 1. And so you're talking about an event that draws thousands of people, thousands. Like you were 4,000th in line to pre-reg before sign up even opened, and so we're talking about 8 to 10,000 people are going to visit this event. Your market share of that is in the low dozen, right? A couple dozen people are interested in your game. The way to grow that is not to make it to where they can't play in other events. If you make your competitive tournament multiple days of that huge event, no one's going to try and play your game because it's going to eat up the whole weekend.
Does
that make sense? It's like, who is going to sacrifice? Not to mention, it's not like it is technically a 4-day convention, Thursday through Sunday. It's not really a 4-day convention for everybody. The vast majority of people are going to be there for 3 days because they're either they're going to come in late Thursday or they're going to leave early Sunday. So by putting it on one of those 2 days, you've already eliminated half the people. By having an event on Sunday or Thursday, you've eliminated half the people. Then you also put it on one of the premiere days of Saturday or Friday. So you're using up 2 of the valuable time slots that already make it hard to play your game. And then so you're using up both of those at a massively prestigious tournament. Like if that's all you're doing, if you're trying to eat up the whole weekend with your scheduling, just have the event somewhere else. Why would you do it at VidCon when it costs hundreds of dollars to sign up? Like, that's stupid. Clearly the people making these choices don't know what they're doing. And it's frustrating. Because it's hurting their game. I'm watching them hurt their game. It's just like, okay, whatever.
It's definitely frustrating to me that this is the kind of thing you would do. Like, this is the kind of decision you would make if we were running the tournament here in KC, when we knew people were coming out of town to play here, and it's one of the big, one of the major events here in the United States. A lot of fans enjoy it here in KC. And so if we were doing something like this here, and we knew that the 14 people who were coming were excited to do it like this, Aaron could make that happen if he was running the tournament, or whoever's running it. They could just say, let's do it this way. And everybody goes, okay, thanks. But you're exactly right. This is not that venue. But I think they're treating it like that. I think there is an assumption in the community.
Yeah. They're treating it like it's just them and some people in a room, and it's not.
Yeah,
they're treating it. Guarantee your game will never become anything else.
As an uninviting thing. It is preventing invitation rather than welcoming invitation. It's right.
Yeah, it is a parasitic strategy. It is preventing it from growing by strangling itself.
I can't. The only thing I can imagine is the first scenario I mentioned, is that the people who want to do it just decided it would be more comfortable this way. Somebody said, this is more comfortable if I have it this way. And everybody else went, okay, sure. Nobody said no. There should have been the person in charge should have said, no, we can't do it this way because this is a major con. And the reason why everybody does things in the smallest amount of time they can is so that more people can do their events.
Yeah.
And then go to other things. But I'll stop. We can stop talking about it because we've clearly made our points. But that's the reason why I'm not doing that judgment event. And yeah.
It's just absurd to me that any game on a chess clock needs to be a multiple day event. Not to mention, you're talking about, how many people do you think play in the 2-day events? Pick a 2-day event at Adepticon. MCP, for example, 128 players, 2-day event. Judgment, 16 players, 2-day event. It's almost 10 times the player count to get to 2 days. What are you talking about?
Because it cuts to finals on Sunday, yeah.
Is it? Oh, because it cuts to finals. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember back in the day at War Machine Weekend, there was a 177 person LCQ, Last Chance Qualifier. That was a 1-day event. You put your big boy pants on and you played those fucking games, and then you went home and threw up. It was terrible. Obviously, that's grueling and ridiculous, but they were up against it because the way the LCQ works is the Last Chance Qualifier for the whole year, anyone's welcome to sign up, but the last spot in the major invitational tournament, which was a 16-person tournament at the time, the most exclusive tournament on the whole planet, you had one slot left when you got there, and so the winner of that tournament got in. And that event started the following morning, so you had to be done, or else you just were going to hold the whole weekend up. Anyway, yeah. I remember, speaking of signing up for Adepticon, I remember back in the day going to War Machine Weekend. We would always, because it used to be you signed up, I want to say it was Thursday at 7 p.m. was the old Adepticon sign up pre-reg. And it would always fall on War Machine Weekend week. And so we would be driving to War Machine Weekend with timers set on our phones 15 minutes before sign up. We'd pull over at a gas station and we'd try and sign up on our phones while we were in the car on the way to Adepticon. Because back in the day, the grab bag that you could get was free if you signed up within the first 1,000 people. And so it was like a $200 bonus if you signed up in the first 5 minutes. And so we would always pull over. So everyone's like, all right, load, like on your little phones. And this was 10 years ago. Internet phones sucked. You had almost no fucking data on those things. All right, Parker, what event are you most excited to play
in? I was going to say probably... Ooh. What a good question. I feel really strong about all of them. I think I'll probably enjoy Day 2, the Super Bowl Part 2. And the reason why is things will have happened. I'll be loose. I think I'll enjoy that. I've never done a Blood Bowl tournament. Maybe I'll get one before Adepticon, but I've never done a Blood Bowl tournament ever. And so I think Day 1 will just be a lot of rakes, just figuring out oh, okay, so this is how you do any of this. And I'll be learning, building the plane as I fly it. So I think that will be frustrating for me. I know I don't enjoy that kind of tournament experience as much. But I think Day 2 will be a lot of fun because I will be able to relax and act like I've been there. So I think I will really appreciate that. Close second is the Judgment Teams event because I love the Muse guys. I like hanging out with them. That'll be a good time, doing a casual Judgment thing. So
cool. Yeah, I tend to like team tournaments just because they're just more fun. So I'm probably most excited for the Old World doubles. I've also always loved Chaos Warriors. I've never gotten to play them ever. And
they
so
are you excited
to get some Chaos Warriors on the table.
Did you get some printed stuff or did you get the GW stuff? What do you?
I will be printing stuff. I currently own 0 of the models I plan to play at Adepticon, and so it's going to be a good time. I have plenty of time to get all this done. But no, Parker knows this about me.
What I know about you, and what I loved about one of my favorite things about Brandon preparation for a major con is you would decide maybe 48 to 72 hours before a tournament. You know what would be better if this list? If I had 30 units of pikemen, and you're like, okay, Brandon, I guess. So he'd be like, I was like, but have you ever practiced that? And he goes, no, but I have pikemen. And so fast forward 36 hours later, and he goes, I did all the pikemen. I go, Brandon, how did you do all the pikemen in 36 hours? He goes, well, first, he didn't say he worked really hard. He goes, first, you just don't sleep. That's the first step.
Oh.
Yeah, step 1. From now to me walking into the Adepticon doors, I will
step
not
2,
sleep.
get rid of all those little fiddly rule. Bits, because those fucking shafts on those things, those are pieces of shit. So I took all the shafts out, and I replaced them all.
Yeah. So not only did I decide to build and paint 3 units of Iron Fang pikemen, which are 12-man units, I decided to also modify them by cutting off their plastic spears.
Hell yeah, brother.
And metal rodding their plastic spears.
And so you did all that.
12 hours of conversion work.
The next favorite part is, I don't even know if this happened at Adepticon with the Iron Fang pikemen, but it's happened before in other tournaments. You would go, have you ever tested this before? You go, nope. Every time you said nope, you were guaranteed to perform multiple matches better. Every time you'd ever practice the list, it was 3 and 2, 2 and 4. always 3 and 4. Like that's always what you got. And when you never practice a list, it was 5-1, 6-1, 7-0. Like you did so much better going into a tournament cold, like not knowing everything.
I did the same thing in MCP2. I was like, I've never played Convocation before. We're playing Convocation at Warfare. And it's like, went 5-1. I'm like, cool. No, it's something about... So first of all, for the painted only conventions, I know a lot of people will think this is fake bullshit that's not real. You can get so many mental reps while you're painting. And so if you do nothing but paint for 3 days, all I'm thinking about while I'm painting is the ways I can play these models, like all the different like maneuvers and combos and like activations you can make. Well, what if I tried this? Like, what if I like my shield wall units to get bonuses while they're base contacts? Like, what if I do like 3-man triangles, which is pretty standard? But it's like instead of 3-man triangles, what if we do 4-man diamonds? And you're like, well, then that would be like this, and what would be weaky? And so I'm just thinking about that while I'm painting because I'm bored as shit. And so I think there is something to that. But yeah, the time you're specifically talking about, I had to paint 3 completely separate armies for Adepticon. I can't remember the name of the format, but it's Masters or Iron Gauntlet or something. You had to have 3 separate lists, and they were all full armies, and they couldn't share models. So yeah, it was the Tuesday before Adepticon, I want to say it was. I decided what my lists were going to be, and I told myself I would not sleep until I finished painting, and I knew that finishing painting would be like Thursday. And so I was like, I might get a couple hours of sleep if I really rock this out. So I just went to work. I would get off work, drive straight home, start painting, stop painting, take a shower, drive to work. Like that was what I did for 3 straight days. And then we come to Thursday night, Thursday night. We're leaving Friday super early, like 6 a.m. It's already like 2 a.m. And I'm packing my stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm finally done painting. I can get 2.5 hours of sleep before Adepticon. I was like putting all my stuff in my bags, and I'm counting everything and checking it off my list to make sure I have everything. And I'm a unit of Doom Reavers short. And I knew I owned them, but I thought they were painted, and they weren't. They were new in box. And so I had to go into my closet in the basement, go through my new in box stuff. I found a unit of Doom Reavers, and I had to assemble and paint it in 2 hours so we could leave for Adepticon. And like Jeremy walks into my basement, and I'm matte coating the Doom Reavers and trying to let them dry before I put them in the foam. He's like, "Are you ready to go?" I was like, "I'll be ready in a minute." And so from Tuesday to then, I had not stopped working on models except to go to work. And I think that's the only time I've slept on the drive to Adepticon.
It was awesome.
It was very fun.
As impressive as that is, and I know that's something you wear as a badge of honor, and you should. The thing that I think is more impressive was it how you qualified for you qualified for War Machine Weekend once. I believe it was in Colorado with like 0 reps or something. Was that 0? Mm-hmm. It was almost 0 reps. Like you played the faction a lot, but you built a list and then just ran it cold. I remember because I think I did like 4-1 at that tournament, and you just crushed it. Maybe you did 3-2. Maybe it was like 3-3.
I think
that sounds right.
That was Convergence I qualified with, because the previous year I finished second. I missed it. I
remember that because you were very ticked off of that.
Furious about that game too, because I tend to give people the grace when it comes to like weird situations. Like, we're in a spot where my opponent didn't know the rule. We're coming out of the last activation of the game. He's running out of chess clock. I have like 5 minutes left. And we're playing this super grindy game, and he knows that he doesn't have time to win, and so he has to kill my leader to win the game. So he knows what he's supposed to do, and he knows like the order of operations for it, but he doesn't know how like the modifiers work. And his clock's like ticking down under 10 seconds. So he's like, all right, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to trample to here, and then I'm going to shoot my gun at your leader. It's the only chance I have. And I look at the clock, and I was like, okay, he clearly doesn't know like the math here. So I paused his clock, and I explained to him what goes on. I was like, we'll just resolve this off the clock, and we'll both agree that if you don't kill me with this attack, I win, right? Because you probably won't even be able to make the attack with the time allotted anyway. He's like, yeah, that's fine. And so we roll it out, and he has to roll. It's 2d6, and he's adding a d6 to it. So on 3 dice, he needs to roll in concurrent, like he needs to roll a 15 and then a 17 on consecutive 3 dice rolls. he proceeds to exactly roll those two numbers and win the game, and then lose in the next round. I was like, you son of a bitch. You fucking, you beat me on the most wild, crazy thing just so you could lose the next round. And then the next round, I don't remember anything special about my list. I think it was just the first big event I just remember
there was something about the one you won. You were doing something different, or playing maybe a leader you hadn't played. I just can't remember what it was, because I remember you went. I think it was one of the two lists. Maybe is what I'm remembering. Because that was the two list format, right? And I think at the last minute you said, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to do Aurora or some shit. Like, you just completely went to like a different place for your.
I think it was Axis. Because everybody said, like, Mother
right.
Convergence was the best.
That's right. That's why you were so happy, because you're just, I want to go beat him. Hammer hands. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I just want to hit people with hammers. Like, because Axis is just hammer time. He doesn't have hands. They welded the hammers directly to his forearms.
They weren't like...
He doesn't.
And if you're picturing like his fists are
built the hammers directly into his
arms, that's
arms.
not right. His arms, his forearms have been replaced with pistons, and so the pistons would just throw the hammer forward. So all he needed to do was put his arms out towards you, and then smack, it would just like activate. It was a cool model, cool concept. And it was like his armor. It wasn't like, I don't think it was actually his arms. Just the model looked like his arms. Okay.
No, it's literally just built into his arms.
Yeah.
There's a pivot joint, but yeah. So there was a mechanic for Convergence that their robots under their control used their attack stats, so like your weapon skill, ballistic skill kind of stuff. It's like you just give that to all the people under your control. And then also they had one ability that they would give to everybody. And his was countercharge. And so if you ended a movement close to them, they would just charge you out of operation. And it's like, oh, middle of your turn, you get charged by this dickhead. And so it was just funny, because you would take a bunch of shit that was terrible, but he was good at hitting people in melee, but he was the worst shooter on the planet. He was practically blind. And so he's just like, I hit things with hammers, that's all I do. And so you just like, I'm just taking hammers, that's all I need.
It would have appealed to you, Josh. Josh, funny. You would have liked it a lot.
It was a typical full
that sounds like me.
List.
Yeah.
I do like hammers. Liked it a lot. Like hitting things with hammers. Yeah. Throwing hammers at people. I'm a big fan.
So, yeah. My favorite Warjack was the Inverter, who has like a chain whip. He basically has a big flail, right? So chain weapons ignore shields, which was nice. And it had reach, because it was a longer melee range than most attacks. But their other weapon was amazing. It was the Gravity Hammer. It was only usable once per turn. But when it hit you, it knocked you down, which made your defense 0, so you were automatically hit by melee attacks. And it was just one big power 20 attack, which was like the highest power on the card. And it's just like, BAM! It just hit you with this giant... It was like a battering ram that was like spring-loaded. And you just walk up, it was like, BAM! Knock you down. It's like, hit you with the whip a bunch of times. It was very funny. Yeah. Josh would have liked Axis.
Less thinking, more charging. That's how I like to play games.
I know I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go down nostalgia lane. However, I just was awash with some nostalgia just now, thinking about some of the most positive moments of War Machine. I'm not going to go down nostalgia lane, because that always takes us a right turn straight into the fucking pit, canyon of despair that's at the end of nostalgia lane for War Machine for me. But man, that road was a great road, lined with roses, and that was such a fun.
I'm past the negative part of it, because I know that it will just never be what it was, and I've just moved past it. And so I look back fondly on that stuff, but I know that we're never going to get real War Machine back, and it was a time.
Maybe we'll look at it maybe we'll give this sideways glance at Adepticon this year. We'll look at it again, just like we always do. Just like, what do you think? Maybe? Yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
Well, no, because the game just isn't the same game anymore. There was this magical, perfect balance of just crazy bullshit and like boring tediousness that like every game that is amazing has, where it's like, because all the games now, they try to push everybody to be super interesting. Every model has to be a focal point, and I don't like that, because it it just takes away from the game itself, right? You can't enjoy the game if everything in it breaks every rule. And there's a happy medium in there somewhere where you get just enough abilities on the right quantity of models to make it fun, but not too many rules where it becomes tedious and like ridiculous. And so it's hard to find that perfect balance. And for a brief period, War Machine had that balance. I think 40K has had that balance many times. There's a lot of games that have, but it's hard to maintain because it's hard to keep the exact same like feel and power level throughout many years of releases without destroying your game.
Yeah, it is minis gaming as a business is such a snake eating its own tail, right? Because the first thing you interact with is the models and the game, and you want to see the models and the game expand because you're so excited to get more models. You want to recreate that moment you had when you first played the model by playing a new model, right? You want to feel that, and it feels wonderful. It's probably the best way to feel about the game, but yet in order to do that, the game has to thin. It's not infinite mass. You're just stretching and stretching and stretching, and at some point it rips. At some point it breaks, and I don't know if I've ever not seen the game do that. And some games have reconstituted themselves better than others, but I don't think there is such thing as a game that can't do a minis game anyway that can't do that. It's really hard to do. Doesn't matter though. We're going to Adepticon playing something. Playing something.
I'm hyped. I don't know what I'm playing for Affiliation Battle yet. I played a couple test games with Asgard, just Asgard, and it was a little rough. And then I did a test game with just Guardians, and I just deleted everything that was anywhere around me. I was like, man, Guardians is like a glove. You just slide it on, you shoot space lasers at people, and you call it a game. Fair and honest.
I was going to say that if you, like Brandon said with Web Warriors, Guardians is another example. There are some affiliations in the game that just have everything they want to fulfill their game plan, I think. And so, like Avengers.
Yeah. Avengers.
Like Brotherhood to a lesser extent. Like there's a lot of affiliations that could just be like, I want to play this way. And so you just get to play it anyway. You don't need the outside models.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm excited to do, or what I hope to see, is people are like, I really love
Winterguard.
Asgard was a really good example, actually. I really love Asgardians, and no, they may not be as complete a package playing solely as Guardians because they're all a little expensive and they all have some kind of different themes. But I just love Asgardians. I hope that's what I see there. I hope it's not a I don't think it will be. I don't think that's the kind of people who will be playing. I don't think we'll see 15 Brotherhood and 15, Avengers. Maybe I'm wrong.
Brotherhood would be a great thing to bring because I think they're pretty bad. And, in Affiliation Battle, I think enough of their problems are solved that they can compete. I don't think they're good.
They are seen as being like an affiliation that you can play 10 models of Brotherhood and you get to do what they do, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think that'd be a good pick because they're not like a meme and they're not heavy competitive either. Like they're a nice middle ground. Kind of like Asgard. Like Asgard's probably better than Brotherhood in Affiliation Battle, I would guess. I haven't really thought about it.
I was going to say, a couple test games.
But
like,
they're
boy,
very
howdy,
similar.
do I miss my other plug-in models that I use for Asgard. Because I was like, wait, I'm back to just running at you with swords and shields and... I have no way to. I love it. I love it so much.
Is that what you wanted?
No, I love
You're
it.
getting dangerously
so
close
much.
to being a hypocrite over here, buddy.
Rough fighting people that have guns, and you are an advanced alien race that decided swords were the way to go.
So, I don't know if you guys feel this way. I get frustrated by stuff like Affiliation Battle. Because when it first came out, it was like a fun, jokey event, right? It's like, Affiliation Battle, like, wouldn't that be a silly thing? And then, like, nobody takes it too seriously, it's whatever. But now it's an official format because AMG is running it.
Yeah.
Like, over the last few years, because they've run Adepticon, they schedule the tournaments. It is an official canon format, that AMG wants to exist now. So why are the affiliations so imbalanced? Like, if I suggested this for 40K, you would be like, what? Like what are you talking about? Like, obviously it'd be weird because there's not a direct parallel because you can't mix models over there. It'd just be so odd. It'd be like Magic the Gathering. It's like monocolors only, and you're like, what? like this is obviously not.
We were talking about this.
Like,
it's like,
and so it's just like, what are you doing?
Like, I'm going because I wanted to play MCP and I just want to have fun. Like, that's just my fun event affiliation battle. But like, I was looking at like Winter Guard and I was like, I can't even legally.
I just want to clarify if
they have 7 affiliated models, I think, and it's like, well, I could bring.
Yeah, I think you mean it's only going to play 7 models.
But
Yeah,
but my point was, I just want to say, is if I was going to play a Adepticon, gun to my head, I had to play, I would choose affiliation battles, obviously, first. It is what I am most interested in playing, which I think says a lot about where I'm at with the game. And it's just, like, but, like, how can you straight-faced propose this as a format, as a company, when you do zero effort of balancing the factions? It just feels weird. It feels dishonest, right? Like, does it not, to anybody else? Like, if you think about it, it's like if Magic the Gathering had a big, like, game day, and you're like, yep, and we're having a $1,000 cash prize tournament, monocolor decks only. And you're like, well, that's not, like, what are you talking about?
It's hard
that's
because I don't know their design philosophy for models. Like, do they design it for the wider game, and you happen to be affiliated? Or do they design a model to exist within its affiliation, and then it just leaks into the wider game? You know what I mean?
Well, but in my opinion, that wouldn't matter, because the issue is more about quantity than quality specifically, right? It's not like they make Winter Guard models worse than other models. I don't think that's what they're doing. But it's just that, like, if you just have Avengers 30 affiliated models, and Winter Guard have 7, how is that balanced?
Some of that's also, like,
it's just not.
From a, I don't know, I guess logistics standpoint, there are, I guarantee you, less than, I'm going to say 50, there's probably less than 25 Winter Guard comics that exist.
No, and I don't expect them to release 23 more Winter Guard. I'm just saying they could do something about having 30 Avengers. They could split it. They'd be like, hey, we're going to have Mighty Avengers, New Avengers, Mightiest Avengers. Like, just break them into smaller groups.
If you're playing
so
Sam Avengers, here are the people with Sam. Those are the 15 you can choose from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here are the brand new day Avengers. Like,
just for affiliation
something.
battle. I mean,
even if it's just for affiliation battle.
But affiliation battle, yes. Yeah.
Obviously, we've talked about stuff like this before, and that's what we want to happen. But like, of all of our ideas they've tried to steal, why didn't they steal that one? Like, that would have been great. I think I should sell tickets to me confronting Pagani on how I buy Doc Ock. Hey, Will Pagani, how do I buy Doc Ock?
That'd be hilarious.
I want to get me a Doc Ock. Where do I get them? That's going to be great. I am 100% going to ask him. I want as many people to be within earshot as possible when I do.
Where to go up to him. Yeah.
Where's my Doc Ock, Pagani?
I'll get you like the
pair.
I'll find like goggles that Doc Ock wears. So
it needs to be. It needs to be.
You'll be the #1 Doc Ock fan.
It needs to be like the Snowball from Rick and Morty, where it's like, where are my testicles, Summer? Like, what did you do with them? It needs to be that, but like, where's my Doc Ock, Pagani? Where did you put him?
But yes, I'm very excited for Adepticon. I'm very excited. I've already requested.
How excited are you?
No,
I need a rating scale.
10? No, wait, we're supposed to do non-ratings.
I'm gonna give it 6 pizza rolls. I'm 6 pizza rolls excited.
I am.
Parker can't be
Chinese.
Parker's negative 10 pizza rolls because that's how many pizza rolls he owns.
One whole Chinese
buffet.
Excited. No, I'm talking. We
not like
show
3
up at
plates
lunch
at a Chinese buffet.
Dinner. That level of Chinese buffet excited.
Parker, have you ever like done something? You're like, I just hacked the system. Like they didn't know, they never planned on this happening, and I just
yeah, I
stuck
feel
one
like it
past the goalie.
has. Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you? We're like, for example, let's say you're like, hey, I want a glass of milk with my breakfast, and they're like, oh, we don't serve milk, but you go over to the coffee bar and they have a 2-gallon, like a big thermos of milk for the coffee,
exactly.
But you're like,
right,
doesn't say I can't drink it. And she was like, free milk. Like, it's like, you ever having that? I had a day like that a couple days ago. Me and Josh were ordering Chinese food, and I was like, can you just give me like 2 orders of crab rangoons and like a whole lot of duck sauce? And he's like, I guess. And I got it was
hell
like
yeah,
$9.
brother.
I got 12 crab rangoons. I was like, what the fuck? It's like someone missed a zero somewhere. I'm just eating. It's like, have you ever like eaten yourself nearly sick on $9?
Oh my god!
So I was so full of crab rangoons. I thought I was gonna die.
It was just my roommate and I, Kelly, and CJ was traveling for something, right? And Kelly and I were like, we love shrimp, but CJ does not like shrimp, and we're like, CJ's gone. He can't stop us from eating shrimp. Let's go get a fucking shrimp dinner. Just shrimp for dinner, right? So we go to the store. We're sitting there looking. We're like, do we want the 50-pack of shrimp or do we want the 80-pack of shrimp? And we're like, okay, we'll get the 50-pack of shrimp. We'll go get some like oysters and then we'll get like a little salad, right? And we're like, we're eating shrimp dinner. I learned that day that 25 shrimp, because we split it, is a lot of fucking shrimp. And by the 20th shrimp, I was like, this is a horrible mistake. Why did no one stop us? Like, I have to eat. I have to eat 5 more shrimp.
It's illegal to buy that many shrimp.
I'm so tired of shelling and eating shrimp.
You can keep a shrimp in the fridge. Like, you don't have to eat the shrimp.
It was the point of it. It was the purpose.
No, you can't.
You don't understand 50. You have to eat it.
Is CJ like allergic to shrimp?
So I don't know.
No, he's just not a fan.
Oh.
They're
wrong.
He just doesn't like them. It's seafood. Most people don't like seafood. I don't like seafood. I'll eat shrimp like if they're cooked.
Pop them out of the shell, dip them in some sauce, eat a cold shrimp. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So I have a PSA. I don't know how many people don't know this, but everyone should know this. There are secret menu items on some restaurants' websites that do not put on their menu. One of my favorites is at Wendy's. They have a chicken nugget platter. Did you know about this? You get 50 nuggets for guess the price. Because it's like $9. I'm
going to assume it's like 25.
32.
No way.
What?
It's $15. It is cheaper than their Baconator combo. 50 nuggets.
I don't want to eat
with
50
dipping
nuggets.
sauce.
I don't.
I do. So every Thursday I'm like, Josh, you want to get some nuggies? And he's like, no, I don't want nuggies again, because last time we got nuggies, he was like, I only want like 10. I was like, okay, you can have 10. So he eats 10. I eat the rest of them. And he's like, you did not do that. I fucking did. And then the next week I was like, I'm getting nuggies again. He's like, don't do it.
Why do you call them nuggies?
He's like, I don't care. It's so good.
At Wendy's,
nuggies. It's so good. But I'm just saying, like, now, if you have 2 people,
okay, now I have to ask,
like, it's more than enough.
How did you discover this? Did you just ask them one day? Oh,
I was on their website because it was right after the McDonald's app got really good. And you're like, you just get like half price off McDonald's on the app. So I was like, I wonder what else other people have. And so I just go into websites, because then we found the Taco Bell online exclusive box, which, by the way, is the only thing you should ever get from Taco Bell if you didn't know this. On the app.
Sure.
You get a specialty item, which like a cheesy gordita crunch, or
the Crunchwrap Supreme.
What's the thing you get? Crunchwrap Supreme. You get something like that. One of those big premium items. Then you get a taco or a small burrito of your choice. Then you get a side of your choice. But online only, they have a potato basket, and so it's fried potato wedges in nacho cheese and sour cream. They put on top in a little like container. And so you just shake it, and it just coats them in sour cream and cheese.
Yeah,
and it's like eating like a fried baked potato, if that makes any sense.
$7.
And then you also get a drink, and it's $7.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, dude, the Gordita Crunch is $5.50. No, it's the only thing you should ever get from Taco Bell. And it's on the app and on their website, but you can't get it at the menu.
Why are they... I'm just trying to think, what's the business reason to have that?
They're trying to train
Also, they're
people that
selling
they
your
don't
data,
need
so-
staff, so they can
That's
fire
true.
their staff.
They're just scraping. You're
Except
always
you
giving
don't
them data.
have to give them any data. I'll give you that they're trying to get data from you, but if you order on the website as a guest, there's no data. Like, you don't have... So McDonald's, I don't know if you can order on the website. I think you have to use the app.
So did you
On
get
Taco
these
Bell
this
and
50
Wendy's, you can just use the website. You can
nuggies?
sign
Did
in
you
as a
get your
guest.
50 nuggies on the app or sorry on the website or
Nuggies.
okay? Okay,
I use the
but
website.
I'm guessing you
their
can't
app
roll
sucks,
up and
so
say I
don't
want the
use
50
I just use the
nuggies. You
website.
can't. That's fascinating.
I don't think so. I think you have to use the website.
Oh, I am.
It is
I am
weird, isn't
kind
it?
of blown away. That is kind of awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah, and if you're ever like, "Hey, I'm feeling nuggies. I'm on my way to the store," just
I
hit me
will
with a
never
message. I'll
feel
put in an order and you can
nuggies.
pick it up.
But I do. I wonder, like,
Tyler
the thing
likes
is, like,
nuggies.
if you're,
Tyler
if
knows
you're
what I'm
balling on
talking
a
about.
budget, like, how are you? That is an enormous amount of food. You could keep it for 2 or 3 days. Like, yeah.
Calories.
Like, that's-
No. I've had it for several meals before. You could almost eat if you're being like actually dietary nutritious.
Well, I don't know if
conscious,
you could be
you could probably eat for 2
dietary
days
conscious
off
of that much processed meat, but you can. I mean, it's not the worst. It's not the worst thing to eat. You could do worse.
Yeah.
I am very impressed. This is the thought of you eating 40 nuggies and the 12.
The 40 nuggies
and
wasn't
That
the
just
hard
makes
part.
my
The 50
acid
was the hard
reflex
one.
hurt.
I'll tell you what though, even eating 50 nuggies, I've never.
I was
been
gonna say
full
12.
as
It's the
when I
12
ate
crab
12
rangoons
crab rangoons.
that
was
really
way
got
harder.
me.
I felt sick. I was like, oh my god. The last 2, I was like, I should not eat this. Just shoving it in my face.
I ate 12. I ate 12 tonight. Sorry, 12. I didn't 12. I ate 6 tonight. That's half. And also like a rice dish. And I was like, oh, this is really filling. But
Yeah.
also the crab rangoons I get are they're pretty small. They don't have much to them. I'm guessing these are not that. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, that makes me
they
so
were
happy.
quite large.
Everything about that story.
All right. All right. We're gonna jump into Mojo World now. So this week in Mojo World, we're going to do fantasy movies from the 80s.
Josh is so excited for his pick of
This
topic.
This is my jam.
What would you have done, Josh, if I had just said a different topic and we had just started to
I would have been
comedies from
like,
the 80s? And you're
there
like,
is now a joke in this
shit.
fantasy movie I've chosen. Thus, it is a comedy. Fuck you, I'll do it anyway.
Just shoehorn everything in.
I would be willing to bet that there's very few jokes.
Not good
in Sword and
jokes.
Sorcery
I'll give you
movies.
that. Not
They're all-
good jokes.
They're all deadpan.
Yes,
Not
they're
good
very cheesy.
Okay.
All right, Parker. I
won't
am
fuck
going to
you
allow
on
you
this
to go first
because there's only one option
Don't
for
fuck
me.
me on this.
In fact, I could just say this 3 times, but I can't. It's The Princess Bride.
Yeah,
It's a good choice.
that was number 1 on my list. It's arguably the only choice if you have first pick. All right. Next up for me, I'm going to go Conan the Destroyer. Because it is technically the only real fantasy movie, if you ask me, of the 2 of them. So, because the other ones are just
That is
Barbarian
fantasy.
movie. That's not fantasy.
By
That's just guy with
definition,
sword.
fantasy. So
That's an adventure movie, and that's not a fantasy movie.
just let me know. It has
if you're
magic.
classifying fantasy as anything that is fiction based,
They literally
Sure.
summon him back
What
from
magic
the
does that have in it?
dead.
I don't remember any magic from the first one.
Yes. I watched it the other day. I watch it every
I don't
4
think
months, so I'm
that's
gonna let
true.
you know. Yes.
I
don't
that's
think
all the
that's
snake,
true.
right? All right.
Conan the Barbarian,
All right, Josh.
1982. My second pick is Fire and Ice. Fantastic film.
Okay. That's going to leave me with the last movie on my list that I think that you guys are going to pick is Willow. My body can help. It's the 100% the only thing you should ever say to another person. My body can help. falls downhill. I watched that movie again as an adult, and oh my god, it's like a shot-for-shot remake from Lord of the Rings for the first hour. Like, we were checking things off the list.
Yeah,
like, dude,
thinly
literally
veiled.
Lord of the Rings.
Thinly veiled. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I don't even know that it's veiled. I think it was, like, advertised.
I'm going to go with one of my favorites as a kid,
Last
the
two picks
Beastmaster.
Good choice. No, fantastic choice.
Veto.
And
is that Dolph Lundgren? Which one is that one?
No, he has two ferrets.
That's the one with the two birds.
He has a hawk.
He has two ferrets, a hawk, and a like
two
a panther.
Ferrets,
yeah.
Hold
Who's
on,
the
I have it
actor
right
in that
here.
one?
It is
I'm confusing it with Masters of the Universe.
Mark Singer is the main actor.
Because they're both.
Yeah,
he
super
did like 2 movies. I think.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
Beastmaster, maybe like a Beastmaster 2. And
Yeah,
then he was,
method actor Mark Singer.
He was done.
And
he had the
I
Luke
hear
Skywalker
he was
haircut.
considered. I hear he was considered for Lincoln, but passed. Daniel Day-Lewis instead. The last one is going to be. Okay, I can't go with this one because I've never seen it. So I'm going to go with the one I have seen because that's the part of the game is Clash of the Titans. I'm going to go with Clash of the Titans.
Good one.
Okay. I have exactly one movie left on my list.
I guess
Josh.
Okay, picture movie
I
in
bet
my
you
mind.
can't guess it. Picture a movie in your mind.
It's a
Both of
fantasy 80s movie.
Picture a movie in your mind.
Say it on 3.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Hawk
What,
the
5
Slave.
words.
5 words.
Oh.
Big Trouble in Little
Okay, so I'm willing to get
magic.
it because
don't even give me that. 100% magic. There's more magic than in Conan.
I looked it up, and fantasy fiction is a genre
100%.
of imaginative literature set in worlds with magical or supernatural elements. It does have magic and supernatural elements. Fantasy film.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Right.
I'm
Give us
doing
your last
Hercules,
stupid fucking movie,
1983. You ever seen it? No. Hercules.
Hercules in New York or just regular Hercules?
Ferrigno? I can't
Lou
remember how to
Ferrigno.
pronounce his name. Yes. As
The
the guy.
Ferrigno?
You could say
Yes. Yes.
Oh shit! I am cracking up tonight.
And I enjoyed it. It has a scene. I'm sure many of you have seen it. It's terribly awful. He is a terrible actor, but he throws. But like it. That's what.
I like how he's selling
That's what makes
the movie.
it great.
He's a terrible actor. Bad premise.
It has a scene
shitty
that just
plot.
tickles me
Movie's
pink.
great.
And he puts there's like a rock, like a huge boulder on the end of a chain, and he whirls it around and he throws it into space, and the rock is attached to a chariot, and then he rides with the princess he saved off into space in his chariot rock, and it's fantastic. It's everything I love out of movies.
All right. Do you have... Now we're just going to skip that, actually. I have something I want to say that I need to get off my chest. I feel pretty bad about this, I'm going to be honest. I feel betrayed by every single living person in our Discord.
I think it's
what
called
the fuck
domination.
happened last week?
I did not vote last week.
Parker, did you vote last week? Go to the poll. I want you to tell me how this is anything other than Josh
you have to think
literally
like the
paying
common
people
man,
money
and
to
we
vote for
love
him.
a good
Because this is
Daredevil movie.
No. I gave you 3
those are great
literal
movies.
gems. Like, these are 3 great movies. And you picked 3 not good movies.
Okay.
They're not even good. They're not even okay.
Alexander.
Like, you chose
Alexander
an
is
actively
an
bad
epic
movie.
dumpster
An
fire.
okay.
It's like
Yes, it's famously terrible. Daredevil was literally the most hated movie ever when it came out. And then
the Batman was not
everyone
the
agreed
Batman was not a
looked
bad
stupid.
movie. But Alexander and Daredevil both disqualified.
I've heard that. That's fine.
That's amazing.
Yeah. There's no way that
Dear
any
listener,
one of
they
my
hate us
movies
'cause
is
they
better
hate
than the
us.
combined 3
Keep
movies
rocking. You know the better choice.
Uh-huh. So all I'm saying is that I understand that there is collusion involved, and that really takes away from
both
the
forgot
integrity
his
of it.
best movie, and in my opinion, his best role in a movie, which is In Bruges. In Bruges, I think it's
I
because
haven't seen it.
it's the closest he's gotten to be basically himself, and it's his character is not himself, but he's playing his own culture, right? Like he's playing who he is. In The Gentleman, he also gets close to that, but in Bruges, man, that movie is just fucking wonderful. One of my favorite dark comedies ever is In Bruges.
Okay. I put it on my list. Parker, have
No.
you seen Seven Psychopaths?
I've heard of it.
I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's got Christopher Walken in it. In my opinion, his best role.
And Sam Rockwell. Oh shit. And Woody Harrelson. What the fuck?
And Sam Rockwell. It is, honestly, it's the ultimate Sam Rockwell movie. And he's not the main character. Farrell is. But it's, you know how almost every Sam Rockwell movie where he's heavily involved is this weird mix of like dark comedy and lightheartedness? It's very much got that feel to it. But yeah, it is a great movie. It has a lot of really serious moments, a lot of really funny moments, and just a really fun story.
There's before we go, I told myself I was going to tell you about this on the cast. I just watched a show that I do not know if you would like, but I desperately want to know if you would. Could you please go onto Netflix and just watch the first episode of Norsemen? Have you watched it yet?
Oh.
Yes. So they took
the
tone
Viking one, right?
of yeah, they took the tone of Vikings,
Viking satire,
and they just kind of inserted a very crude irreverence. And what it kind of reminded me of was Always Sunny. It's not the repartee of Always Sunny, so it's not a lot of verbal humor, but the willing to go there, like the willing to go like to 11, from 0 to 11, right? Just go all the way, reminds me kind of that. It's got a European...
So the reason I didn't watch it initially is because it looked really jokey from the like clip that it plays at the beginning. And so I don't mind if it's comedic and it has a lot of satire in it, but I didn't want something that just like
I will say this:
back and forth.
It is
so if it's not like
crude.
that, I'm more interested.
It is crude, but I think it's crude in the way that Always Sunny is crude. I'll tell you this much: my wife watched me watch Always Sunny, and she was like, "Okay, I see why you like it. It's not for me." She had exactly the same reaction to this. She's like, "I see why you like this. This is good. Not for me." And I really did like it. But that's not the reason why you should watch it. I'm just curious to know what your take is, based upon someone who also likes irreverent comedy. But it's not irreverent like Always Sunny is, but it's definitely irreverent. So I think you would. I'm curious to know what you think. I don't need you to like it at all. I'm just curious to know what you think.
I
watched it twice. I watched the whole thing through
Cyberpunk
twice.
Edge Runners.
Why did?
No, but that.
Josh.
So that is one.
I just can't remember
that
who watched it. We talked about it on the cast, but I don't think
approaching
here.
Like top, like once I get a chance to sit and watch a show front to back, it will be Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
The more I think back on the show, because we were talking about the topic of what's your favorite show you watched in 25, it might be the best show I've watched in a really long time. Like, it was so perfect. Like I really hate one season shows because I feel like there's always a way to expand on it. But I don't really know how you expand on that story without taking away from it, because it was just so well done. It was a great
open book and then closed book.
I'd like to see spin-offs in that world, but I don't know that you need to mess with that story.
Because Edge Runners was so popular, they're like, people got money to do it. I think it's like Dark Horse or Image funded some, and they're all wonderful, and they're all like, they feel like Edge Runners, which is this really great little like pseudo vignette.
It was Dark Horse. Great. Nice. Dark Horse does good work.
Yeah, these were really good. But yes, that world is super cool. Kind of like you, Josh. As soon as I get bandwidth for video games, that's one of the games that's always there. Like, when I play you, I'm really going to enjoy you. I'm not going to play you yet.
Yeah. So I'm actually almost there too. I watched YouTube. They might still be there. had Blade Runner Director's Cut and then Blade Runner 2049 or whatever the second one is. And I watched them both back to back. I was like, I really like these movies. And I like cyberpunk as a setting. And I've been sitting on Cyberpunk 2077 for a long time to play. And I ordered the Ronin graphic novel by Frank Miller. That apparently was, I did not know, the inspiration for Samurai Jack, one of the big inspirations.
Yeah.
And so I think when I get caught up on painting a little bit of time, we're just going to do a deep dive through all things cyberpunk. Read books, play the game, see what TV shows I can find. Because I enjoy the idea, like the theme of the setting, like a cyberpunk theme. So
my brother lives and breathes cyberpunk, and he's read, giant novels worth of cyberpunk, literally. Yeah. And he thinks that 2077 is one of the best video games ever because of how hard they nail cyberpunk. He's just like, this is everything that cyberpunk should be, and it's also a strong video game. But he said, what I really wanted to do was just play and feel like I'm in a cyberpunk world. And it's like, man, they nailed it. And I'm not kidding when I say that he's read volumes and volumes of cyberpunk. It's his favorite genre. And he's a fiction doctorate. Like he's read a lot of fucking books.
Yeah.
He's read a lot. But that's his favorite genre. Oh, really?
So right now I'm watching through
I have dabbled. I've watched Mad Men
Yeah.
exactly like I've watched House. Like I've watched like one season and like 2 seasons, but never like not back to back, and then like random episodes otherwise. I've never sat down and been like, what is the catalog? What is the whole story? Never done it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so like it's just weird. I never understand, because almost every show I watch has like an obvious purpose to it. And so it's just weird when I get to shows, there's like, if I told you like, what is the point of Mad Men? It's like, well, it's just this guy and his life, and just no direction at all. And that's kind of what it feels like at times. Like it's just kind of it's drama for drama's sake, right? Whereas like Breaking Bad is dramatic and heavy and interesting, but there's like a plot line going through it, right? Like there's a path, there's a flow. But like there's shows like Mad Men, it's just like it just kind of happens. Like you're just watching this guy's life, and his life is exceptional and weird, but there's not like really any point to it. It just seems odd. And so obviously the point of Mad Men seems to be like a morality issue, but I guess that's probably more interesting.
I almost feel like
people. Like I'm liking the show.
Feel like
it's just
the
odd.
allure of Mad Men is voyeurism, right? It's these people who are like all like dysfunctional and like morally bankrupt and like morally bankrupt in different ways.
The extremists,
and yet they're all so sexy and appealing, right? Like it's in different ways. And I think that's the point, is like it's almost like a voyeurism.
That's a good analysis. Like you're watching people who an exaggeration of a thing, and they're just terrible. They're just terrible people, but you're like, I can't look away. Like they keep being terrible, and I love it because this doesn't happen. I can't be that. So
I know that we did this out of order, and we're supposed to end with Mojo World, but I had to tell you about Norsemen because I really wanted, I really needed you to know
that it
existed, and I watched one, and I went, oh man, the first person I thought of at the very last scene was, I wonder if Brandon would love this or hate this. I really wanted to know. Yeah.
Very likely it's going to be indifferent or love.
You're right.
I doubt.
I wouldn't expect
very
you
few
to
things
hate
I watch
because there's nothing about it that's repugnant. But
I've actually really struggled to find a new anime to watch. Like normally when I start an anime, I'm like I just churn through it because I'm like, all right, what happens next? Like I picked up so many random animes I never thought I would like and just really enjoyed them. Like Kaiju Number 8 was a good one.
Dead in the Water, because I have watched One Punch Man season 1
Dead in the Water
20 times at least, and apparently season 3 is unwatchable. So
everyone says that. I highly doubt it's actually true because like the story isn't changeable, right? Like they're not deciding how the story goes. They're just animating it. I have heard the animation is very poor, but it's very poor in like lazy, like, shortcutting ways where it's like there's scenes where like they clearly just cropped an image and then drew over it
Yeah.
and then like forgot to cover the cropping. And so there's like a scene where like a dude's head just stops mid-frame because they clipped it from a panel and didn't draw the rest of his head. like shit like that. And then there's one where it's like there's a lot of like retrospective monologuing where they're just panning at walls so they don't have to draw people's mouths moving. And so they just draw a wall, they slowly pan across the wall, and it's like while someone's talking in the background, it's like, what the fuck? And so it's just a lot of shit like that. But from what I've heard, the middle of the season, like the budget kicks in, and that's where they spend all of their money on is like getting some of the fights going. But I'm still gonna watch it, but everyone I've heard from says that it's god awful animation.
I love the show so much; it makes me really sad.
But
I'm purposely avoiding it because I feel like if I watched it,
yeah,
it's like the last, let's see, like 15 minutes of the Harry Potter film series made me so upset. I struggle to like the entire film series because of how badly it ended. Like that one note was so bad to me. It was such a departure from the rest of it. I was like, oh my god. But
I struggle to remember exactly how the movies end. Like everything up to Harry going into the woods, and even like after he comes out of the woods, I like pretty ironclad remember. But then everything after that, just like it's kind of foggy.
The King's,
like I just didn't
everything
like it.
in the movie and the books align pretty well up until the King's Cross Station, where he's like in the King's Cross Station, and then for some reason I don't understand, and the only thing I can fathom is like production, right? Like they're just like, this is too difficult to do, so we're going to have to think of a different way to do it, or maybe an executive producer got a hold of it and was like, nope, the studio says we got to do it this way, and because I can't imagine, because they stuck to the book so well, obviously cherry picking, they can't put all the content in, but they just stuck to the book so well. The most cinematic moment of all 9 novels, they just removed it and decided to do their own version, and it's just everything is similar but different in ways that only make it worse, and it's so sad. So if that happened to One Punch, because the thing I loved about One Punch is it was a wonderful show, and it was so purposely, perfectly, deliberately animated. Like, it's super campy and goofy at times. The expressions are wonderful because there's such a variety of expression, and I think it's perfect. And then, of course, some of the action was just mind-boggling. You can watch some of those fights, like you said, Josh. You can watch some of those fights 20 times and be hyper satisfied every time. Not just a little satisfied, like be so happy that you spent time doing it again. And the thought of that, the thought of that going away makes me so sad. I can't do it.
Well, it's not like they're changing. Right. Like, the storyline isn't changing, from what I understand. Like, they didn't make any like dialogue changes. Like, they're just animating what is drawn in the manga. But the animation quality has just gone down. And so, like, when they're drawing the show, they're just referencing panels.
I am not as
making it
enough of an anime aficionado to know this, but I cannot remember an anime that I've ever watched that the animation quality went down while I was watching it. Like, it's usually only increases or
normally
stays the same.
Normally it's more concurrent.
Yeah.
It's because they're changing studios every season. So normally when you have a series-based show, it's like, oh, we're going to have a contract for like the next 3 seasons if you're going to animate. And then, that's what happens. But One Punch Man is so long in between seasons that it's been like 5 years, and so they just get a new 1-season contract. And this time, it's like Go something? One Punch Man season... One Punch Man season 1 was done by Madhouse. Season 2 went to JC Staff, which is also who did season 3, which seems surprising.
I felt like season 2 was excellent still. Really strong. Yeah.
It was, and so probably they were just overworked.
Oh, I'm sure every creative,
or over budget.
Every creative, business in the world right now is being choked. So I understand that's highly likely. I'm not mad or like, oh, how dare they ruin the thing I love. Like, I get that it's a business and they are artists that are working too hard for too little pay.
Yeah.
Like, I am sure somebody got fucked. Like, I'm sure of that, right?
Yeah.
And it's not anyone who's drawing its fault. I just, as a consumer who just enjoys anime and loves that, treasures One Punch, it makes me sad. But it doesn't. I don't begrudge the the company for making a thing, but
okay, so season 2 come out in April of 2019, and season 3 came out in October 12th of 2025, which is 6 months and 6 years later. And so if you just think about it, it's like, hey, if I'm a company that makes stuff and you sign a contract with me for me to make your next 2 seasons, and you pay me all the money up front, let's say, I make you season 2, you love it, then 6.5 years later, season 3 supposedly is coming out. Like, the company may have completely changed by then. And so maybe they lost a bunch of creative, artists. Maybe the company got smaller. Maybe they had already spent all the money you gave them. I don't know. There could be a lot of reasons this happened. It's like now they don't have money to pay to animate this stuff. Kind of like when companies do Kickstarters and they spend all the money before they actually make the product. But anyway, yeah, it's sad. I think that we'll end up seeing someone reanimate it. But many people I've talked to don't think that's going to be the case. I can't imagine it's going to end in anything other than a lawsuit because, it dramatically impacts their, intellectual property. Because not only did they make way less money off of season 3 than they would have, it's going to damage future seasons because now way less people are going to invest in season 4.
That is the funny thing about it is sometimes when it's caught early enough, the outcry actually causes everybody to reinvest vigorously because they go, wait, because they do the math real fast. They go, whoa, a lot of people are really passionate about this. That means money. Like, if I can do this right, we'll get money. Like, a good example was the pop culture event was Sonic the Hedgehog. Remember the first one that was just everybody went, oh shit, this is terrifying and terrible. And then the public outcry was so much that the producers were like, whoa, a lot more people than we thought of were actually really passionate about this movie. And now, because we can publicize fixing it, it will cause such a splash on top of this momentum. We're going to ride this into much better box office returns. And it worked, right? So, like, I think it's really fascinating. I hope that happens to One Punch, but I don't know if it's early. I don't think if they caught it early enough. I don't know if the season is out. It's done.
No. It's what has been animated and getting animated. That's going to happen. I just think that there will be a after the fact lawsuit or agreement between the two companies that they'll go back and remaster it and fix it. Because even if they didn't have the time/money to do it right this time, that doesn't mean that they can't be bullied
what would they fix,
or ordered
like,
into fixing it.
What could you fix if it looks like hot garbage?
Well, one way I could see it playing out is they sue this JC Staff or whatever it was called. JC Staff. And then get a judgment settlement, which will effectively bankrupt JC Staff or take a lot of money from them. That then, the authors will then use to invest in getting it reanimated by a different studio. Or they will just, agree to reanimate it out of their own pocket to fix the mistakes and then re-release that later. But season 3 is going to come out the way it's coming out. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's over yet because I've been avoiding watching it. That would make sense. So that's out now, but it's just like, will it get reanimated? Because they've reanimated shows in the past. Like, they're reanimating fucking One Piece of all things. Like, it can happen. And it's just sad that, like, such a great show got basically handicapped by that. But there was also, like, a similar thing happened with JJK in season 2. I don't know how many people were aware of this. But Mappa, the company that animates JJK and a bunch of other stuff too, they were so overworking their artists that, like, 2 of their episodes launched half an hour late because they weren't done drawing it when it was supposed to be released. That's how tight their release schedule was. So they basically took a 2-week break and it pushed everything back. But those 2 episodes, they're like, all right, guys, show releases in an hour. Where we at? It's like, I got 10 minutes of animation left to do. And you're like, well, we better hurry the fuck up, guys. And you can look through and you can spot those scenes where there's a lot of hand waviness going on. You're like, ooh, confetti. Like, don't look over here. Like, there's a lot of that going on in the middle of the. It's basically the Sukuna versus Maharaga and the is it Toji versus Megami? Those 2 fights were a lot of where the
I remember that.
shoddy animation were. But I mean, overall, the season looked amazing. Like overall, the animation was great, and it was very well received. But there was a strike that literally happened during that show, partially because of that show, and so it's good that it got resolved. But meanwhile, we hear nothing about One Punch Man until it's fucking ruined. Like,
maybe I'll pull the cord and just watch it just to say that I have, because I'm also the kind of person that if something looks derpy, but I can see the story. Like if at least I can see the story, I will be as satisfied. I am also the kind of person who's just like, I don't think I can spare the time to watch a story unfold, so I will just read a full plot spoiler because I want to know what happens. I'm more interested in the story than I am the spectacle. The spectacle just is wonderful to see, but more like an expression of art than something I need to enjoy a show. So maybe I'll just get in there and try it again.
Yeah. I'm very much treating it like when Bleach was canceled and I wanted to see what happened. I went through and watched some comic recaps of hey, here's what happens next. Like these are kind of the synopsis of these different fights and stuff. So I was watching that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I'm going to treat One Punch Man season 3 as. Hey, I want to know what happens. It will look better than reading a manga, but I am going to temper my expectations.
I decided what I'm doing as soon as the podcast
is not going to be what I want it to be.
Doing it. I'm gonna watch.
You'll watch 7 Psychopaths.
I'm gonna watch. I might watch an episode of One Punch Man. That sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not.
I don't actually know where it's streaming because it's not on Crunchyroll.
What?
No, that's why I haven't watched it yet.
I'm gonna ask the internet. Internet, tell me.
Is weekly on Hulu and Disney Plus. Hulu and Disney Plus, so Hulu.
I have.
It's on Crunchyroll in Latin America and Oceania if you want to VPN it.
So apparently I can watch it on Hulu. No shit.
Hell yeah.
Weird, it says Hulu and Disney Plus.
I think I've canceled my Disney Plus and Hulu, so.
Huh.
Oh well. But yeah, so if you guys have anime recommendations, I tried to watch Dan to Dan. I did not like that. I tried to watch Reincarnated as a Slime. I hated that. Yeah, it was. I expected it to be annoyingly okay. It was actively bad. I couldn't get through 3 episodes. Oh, it was so bad.
Yeah. Whoops.
It was everything bad about anime in one show. I was so angry when I tried to watch it. I watched a little bit of Hell's Paradise. It was okay. It was just a little too slow. But yeah, I really had trouble finding a show I like. Which usually just means I end up rewatching other stuff. However, JJK is now back. I don't know if you saw it. It's dub only right now, but so it'll be a couple weeks before it starts catching up. And then right after that, Frieren should be coming in, and then
I gotta finish.
Yeah, and then Solo Leveling season 3 is also coming very soon.
I'm halfway through.
Yeah, Frieren
and then I just
great.
got busy and I haven't had a chance to go back. But I do like it. I really like where it's going. So,
yeah. Parker, do you know what we are coming up on? Exactly 1 week and 3 hours.
I am within I'm in the very last. I'm near the perfect climax of book 10 right now. And man, book 10 is a badass book. I had forgotten.
Book 10 is so good. It's the first book where it's
right.
The first Avengers
everyone's
movie.
in the book.
Everyone's
together.
Here.
It introduces so many things. Some of them you know immediately. Some of them you don't know till later.
Yeah.
But man, that also introduces, I know, your favorite troll, which is Nicodemus is right. He's the good guy.
He is. He's trying
and
to
as
save
soon as he
the
started
world.
doing it, I was like, oh yeah, this is when this starts. This is when Brandon decided that he was going to troll everybody who knows anything about Dresden with this phrase. Nicodemus was right. I think. Yeah.
I didn't say he was right.
I don't know. I think he might be the most effective savior of the world because he's.
I mean, he's getting stuff done. No one's calling him lazy. He's just back there pulling levers, like he's sending shit off rails.
I'm a little sad, like I said, that there's no way I'm getting there, right? But I'm.
Yeah. My plan is because I'm reading the second book of the his son's novel series right now, and it's getting a lot better. But once I finish that, I'm going to go through and reread Battleground.
That's the thing. I'm thinking I might skip ahead to Battleground, but I kind of want to do. I want to do 12, and then Battleground maybe. Like I might do that. Well, I don't think I can possibly get through it. Both of those.
You're not going
to
get there. It's not going to happen.
But I really want to see 12 before I move forward. But as soon as I was in book 10 and like all these things are rolling out and all these things are happening, and then I'm not shitting you.
You're remembering all the old storylines. Like,
oh man! Earlier today, I was like, man, this is such a wonderful story. There's so many things lining up. And then I thought about it, I was like, oh, what book is Small Favor? Like, what book is Small Favor?
Like,
and I looked, I was like, 10. 10? There's 7 fucking books. like, how much stuff do I not remember? I don't remember so much. It's like.
I can't. When this story ends, I'm going to tell people it's the greatest story ever told. Like, just as a meme. It's just like greatest story ever told. Like, it's going to be great. Josh,
once I get some time,
do it.
I am currently finishing a analysis of Vikings, so I had to finish that. It's really good.
All right. Next book, though. Next book.
Do you have one? Do you have like the first book? Okay.
I do Audible, so no. I will buy you the first
I'm sure I can find them somewhere.
If it will get you to read the books.
Let me. Yeah.
You
for
can.
Sure.
Just go to a Half Price Books. They're going to be fucking everywhere. It's a bestseller.
I just realized.
I actually feel like I've seen them on Humble Bundle a couple times.
Yeah. I just realized something. I'm looking at the library of his books, specifically, not any library. But I didn't realize how quickly he was writing them. Like the first 13 books
he
were
was
written,
only doing the one series back then.
The first 13
he was
books
doing
were written
like
about
one every 6
months apart. 6 months to a year.
Because when the first one came out, was it like 96 or 02 or 06 or something like that?
2000.
When did Stormfront come out?
The paperback was 2000. Yes, 2000.
2000, okay. I knew it was around the millennia. So 2000, and then through like 2010, he wrote like 15 books.
And then...
But then he started 2 other novel series and got divorced. And when he got divorced, he said he basically didn't write for like 6 months.
So between the first book in 2000 and the 15th book, it was literally 2015. Like he just like wrote a book a year at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Almost
for
exactly
5 years.
Landed on a book a year. And then didn't write another book in the series
didn't come out
until
2017. And then Battleground came out later into 2020 because we knew that was 2. Because we knew it was 2 books that he had. It was 1 book he
3
separated.
months later,
thankfully.
Yeah, it got split. Yeah, he sent it to his author. He says his author didn't even, or his editor didn't even read it and sent him an email back. He's like, "This is not 1 book." Yeah. He's like, he just read the page count, didn't read a single word.
I remember Peace Talks. I don't like part 1s of things. I don't like it, but and I just wish it was 1 epic book. I'm more okay with that. So Peace Talks was one of my least favorite books, but not because of it being a bad book.
Yeah. So going back and reading it, I actually really like it as a standalone book. But it was just, again, you're trying to follow, it's like Ghost Stories. You're trying to follow changes. It's just never going to work. And so it's going to be hated. And so I think I kind of like that he did Peace Talks separately. But having to wait the 3 months was not that bad. But if it had been like 2 years, I'd been furious, right? Like,
it's not exactly 6 years, but close to 6 years. for the book called 12 Months, which is ironic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're way over, but we
right,
got excited.
It,
I'm excited. This month is going to be badass.
Yep. Next week we'll probably try and do an MCP recap on the news from today.
Rapidly falling asleep.
I know we're not going to. I'm saying that
I'm very
the
curious
listeners.
To hear your thoughts.
I know that we're not doing it tonight because
it's thoughts.
I happen to have
my true love.
It's
on Asgard. So
yep. Alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you had a good time.
And
this
Josh
has been Brandon, and you've just listened to Collusion, the episode.
So what are we going to call this thing?
I got it. Okay. Incredible, new, fantastic, astonishing, mighty, original, uncanny, sensational podcast.
I'm just going to put down infamous.